Welcome back to another episode of the Hard Count. This is your host Alex, joined always by Christian. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. It has been just a little while since I've got my hair cut. As you guys can see, California COVID has been treating me well. Alex has a live-in barber that's also his girlfriend, Pause, that cuts his hair. But so I apologize for my wildness right now. But yeah, it's been a little bit of an interesting week so far. But I'm looking forward to this. I'm happy with my Rams. I know you're about to hop on me, and we'll go over that game
I'm
in a
I'm
little
really
bit.
not. I'm really not, to be honest with you. I don't know if you were like bracing yourself for like something crazy, but no, I'm not. I'm not gonna come at you. I'm just gonna talk about the game. I'm not gonna be a dick about it.
I know. I mean, you really can't, considering my Rams made it the furthest in the playoffs. I'm here for you, Christian Connie. I hope you're here for me after. I am shit faced and want to play COD because I took a hour nap before this because I wanted to give Alex my full attention. It wasn't a chicken shawarma plate that I slammed, but ready
Oh,
to play some
delicious.
games with you, Connie. It was straight, bro. Here's the thing: is I grew up in a Greek Middle Eastern household, so when I eat that kind of food, it really got a hit. Otherwise, I'm not that impressed. I just know that they're pandering to gringos, and I know why people like that shit. So it was all right. I'll be real with you.
I I feel you. It's like when I go to certain Mexican spots and I'm like, this isn't all the way authentic. Um,
Chipotle would be a great example. Like Chipotle is good, but you can tell like that it's is all white people pandering in the spices, which is fine. Market research is market research, but
yeah,
I'd rather go to like El Tapatio Taqueria, get some shit that really gonna fuck me up, but it's gonna taste good. That's just my opinion.
yeah.
I'm racist, but only when it
Let's be
comes to my
honest.
food.
Let's be honest. The tap in Moore Park is like another notch above the other taps. Like it's
So
fucking
fire.
amazing. So if you're in the Moore Park area, fucking stop right there, get a torta. Their food is different than the other taps, 100%.
That torta, I got put onto a place, I don't know the name, but a torta spot in Oxnard that's supposed to be like fools from TO drive out there to Oxnard in their lunch break and come back. So that's how good it is.
Is it Cuernavaca?
I'm
Because
not
that's
sure.
like
I'll
a
get you
very
the
popular
name.
place. All right.
I want to try.
But
I want to try.
all right, but let's just go ahead and pay the bills real quick. Shout out to mybookie.ag. Take advantage of our deposit bonus using code USN100. Take advantage of all the college hoops, NFL playoffs, NBA. I myself and Corey, the third member of this podcast, all post our player props on our Twitter accounts. Go ahead and take advantage of it and enjoy that. And then, I need to re-up on my RX Hemp CBD pain relief cream as I am in the midst of a fit challenge and I need to get a little hit a little heavier weight. So I'm definitely going to be relying on CBD cool therapy and warm therapy. Use RX code Use code RXHemp-USN to get 10% off your entire order. If you have any questions as to which product you should use based on your needs, just DM me on Twitter _Alex Valadez. I've taken both. I've done my research on it. I really love this product. I think it's something that is worthwhile. Aches, pains, as whether it comes from being an athlete or because of your job. So take full advantage of that. And then go to Teespring, get some Unwrapped merch. The Hard Count's going to be having some merch put out, Bets Unwrapped, since we have Connie here, Generational Sports, and also Backstop Banter, which I will be a guest on Thursday. Talking about the Padres. Connie in the chat saying, see, I'd love to play COD with you, but I'm at Nan's right now quarantining and mother forgot my headset at home. So, ooh, Christian, how do you feel about that devastating news?
Wait, who is that? Nans that does not have their equipment.
His Connie's mommy forgot to grab his headset.
Connie, we're going no headset, bro. Super unprofessional. How are you even going to stream, bro? How are we going to get you to affiliate? That hurts.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, and it looks like Shin had a full glass of wine ready to go for post podcast shenanigans. But let's just get right into it. It's the Rams, the Packers. Packers got the victory 32-18. Before the game, the much anticipated matchup of Devontae Adams against Jalen Ramsey, tempers were flaring a little bit before the game. Davante Adams had to be escorted away from the Rams sideline where him and Jalen were exchanging some pleasantries. And, of course, Jalen is one of, if not the best corner in the NFL right now. And Davante Adams, who has been playing out of his mind. So it was a fun matchup to see. Davante Adams did get the best of him in this matchup. It's going to happen. I don't think this is a detriment to Jalen. And don't make that face because I can pull up tape that Jalen did get beat. But, hey, even the best corners have days where they're not perfect. I mean, Jalen's resume up to this point has been damn near flawless. So having a game like this in the playoffs, it sucks. But, at that point, hey, the rest of the team's got to step it up because Jalen's been holding it down all season. I mean, what were your initial thoughts, with the Jalen Ramsey, Davante Adams matchup?
So, honestly, this is kind of my general theory about offense in the NFL. Best wide receiver goes against best defensive back. The best wide receiver is going to win. That's just kind of my opinion. Same thing with basketball. You can have the best defender against LeBron James or Kevin Durant, the best offensive players, and they're still going to score. They're still going to put up 20 points. Maybe they shut them down one game, but even LeBron getting shut down is like 26-6. So, it's one of those things where, yeah, I think Jalen Ramsey did a good job. I would like for him to have done better. But when you put up honestly, Adams was probably the best wide receiver this year all the way around when you consider just all kinds of skills. And you add Aaron Rodgers, probably one of the best quarterbacks of all time in terms of skill. That's going to be the end product. Now, how we could have avoided that was having a healthy Aaron Donald, because our defensive line, just like any other defensive line, is built around one significant pass rusher, which is Aaron Donald. And then you have someone like Floyd that we got from Leonard Floyd, rest in peace. We have Floyd, who we got from the Bears, who had a really good season as well. Jochie Polite, other guys on the pass rush. But Aaron Donald, obviously wasn't a break or any kind of thing that showed up on the MRI. But he was really, really hurt not having that pass rush. It just kind of funneled into the back end of our defense. And when you're playing a team like Aaron Rodgers, a running back like Aaron Jones, and they're deep. Jamal Williams had a lot of tugs during that game. He had several large rushes that I know you guys hate on me because I always talk well about my dynasty players, but it just so happened that Jamal Williams and Aaron Jones did do very well. Shouts out to the Packers. The Rams, like I said, we're playing with house money. I just wanted us to get into the playoffs. And then once we beat Seattle, I was like, shit, this is way further than I thought we would go. But all I got to say is I think we were very, very competitive up until 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It was 18-25. We hit the 2-point conversion. We really needed a key stop right there at the end of the third quarter, and we just didn't get it. Their offense just broke us, and it broke us so fully that, we couldn't come back, and we don't have the offense. I love Cooper Kupp. I love Robert Woods. I love Tyler Higbee. I know he's cool with all the Moore Fools, but it just wasn't getting it done. We don't have an elite offensive weapon right now. I love Cam Akers, but he still hasn't developed into a elite, Todd Gurley 17-18, type season. So offense needs to get figured out, and that's the thing too. And I was talking to my dad on the phone. I'd be like, damn, that's so shitty that, Patrick Mahomes might not be available for this week's game. But that's the thing about a championship is it's not always the best team that wins. It's the best team at the very end of the season. The Warriors versus the Raptors is the best example of that. The Warriors were way better team the entire season, but KD got nicked up right there at the end. Klay Thompson wasn't available. Then their lack of depth really showed because their best two players were hurt. And that's sports and that's life. Shit's gonna happen. So what's up, Perry? What's up, my fellow Ick brother? I think we're super resilient. I think our team, Sean McVay is definitely on the hot seat. Anyone who says that needs to literally go and fuck themselves.
Wait, hold on. That's an actual talking point?
I have seen, yes, that people should think about Sean McVay with a little bit different light. I like we'll go over the whole Jared Goff situation in a little bit, but like I said, super happy with our team.
That's outlandish, by the way. That's outlandish. I think that's ridiculous. McVay should be whatever temperature he's right now.
I agree. And maybe that's just LA. That's stupid. LA, we want to win. And, even though the Chargers are here, we kind of got to put that out of our mind and take forefront, be with the Dodgers, be with the Lakers, be that kind of team. But, like I said, expression group chats, I think we go and get Fitzpatrick. I think, call up the Packers, see what we get for Jordan Love. I think there's a lot of options that we can do both short and long term to fix the quarterback position. I just hope we actually explore some of those options in the offseason. I think Jared Goff has to be on the hot seat. That is 1,000% for sure. undefeated, never lost. That needs to be our number one focus going into next year because that defense was awesome. And we're getting the Atlanta Falcons head coach, our interim head coach, who is now our defensive coordinator. I don't know. I think we're just one piece away, and it starts at the quarterback position.
Yeah. Now let's actually go to that. There's been some talks, about, it's a report, so we can't really put that much credence into it until we hear a little bit more. But there's been some talk about the relationship between McVay and Jared Goff, and I made a joke the other day. I don't remember what stream. I think it was Gen Z Sports. I basically like made a joke like, oh, McVay is upset with Goff because he's not watching tape on Sunday instead of hanging out with his wife because of that whole situation. So, and jokingly, I thought, I could see McVay having a problem with his quarterback not being that committed. That's just me. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is in and out. Just got a new one. Thought it'd be better.
I just changed my Wi-Fi. Yeah, I did too.
Okay. So how much? So do you put a lot of credence into the Goff rumors? Like, so you really do think Goff is on the hot seat with his performance?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Jared, here's the thing. I'll point to your Steelers. I think this is the most raw part of sports is when Big Ben and Pouncey were crying at the end of that game. Part of the reason is, yes, their careers are coming to a close. Pouncey's for sure. Big Ben's still kind of up in the air. But when you have a season that ends like that with expectations that were lowered, you wasted a year of your life. And for those guys that are kind of at the end of their career, they wasted a prime competition competing year. Aaron Donald crying at the end of the game is another great example. How many more years is Aaron Donald going to be Defensive Player of the Year level Aaron Donald? I pray for the next 5 to 6, but you don't really know with football. It's probably after right around where his age is where people start to fall off. So I think McVay is young and coaches can coach basically until they die, but it's another wasted year. And this is a year the Rams, I mean, if we beat the Packers, we've beaten the Buccaneers like pretty handedly. So there's a chance, I mean, a different reality where we have a different quarterback, we have different circumstances. We're playing not only for a Super Bowl next week, but we're a team, like I said about the Alex Smith Washingtons, we're the team you didn't want to see in the playoffs. We got the head coach, we got 2 elite defensive players, and our offense is stacked. Like outside of quarterback, wide receiver is stacked, tight end is adequately stacked. We definitely have depth. Offensive line is cool. Wide receivers very stacked. I mean, it's quarterback. It really is quarterback. So I think it's true. I think McVay sees the writing on the wall, and he's like, my potential is capped with that motherfucker over there, who's going to like Lucky Fools on a Thursday after work type energy instead of the work.
Lucky Fools.
Like, everyone wants their franchise quarterback to be a workaholic, and like with Big Ben, that's like obviously not the case, and you can still be successful and you can still win a Super Bowl. But with the Sean McVay, call a spade a spade. He is like type A personality to a T, like very obsessive. If you took him to a doctor, he probably is somewhere on the spectrum, which is fine because people like that tend to be very successful when they can think differently than regular people. And you have a guy like Jared Goff, who, sorry, Corey, to use your term, he literally is the definition of a jag, in my opinion. Jared Goff, yeah, he throws a pretty fucking ball. He's just a guy. Honestly, throws a pretty ball, but he has below average leadership and below average emotional intelligence. The biggest thing I want to point to is the Saints game they played when they beat the Saints. For the first half of that game, Jared Goff was like, and the whole Super Bowl, it looked like he had a thumb up his ass because, he's not Tom Brady. He's not the guy who will throw 2 picks and be like, you know what? Let's stay in it. Chew out the coaches, chew out the wide receivers, get open. Like, I just don't see that out of Jared Goff, and there is no leader in that offense. Like, Cooper Kupp is very quiet. Robert Woods has, he's just a baller. He doesn't want to be a leader. And, you're putting it on Whitworth, who's like 40 years old. It's just, there needs to be some leadership. There needs some leadership from the quarterback position. And Jared Goff has just shown us that he doesn't want to be that person. So I not only think there's truth to these rumors, I think they are 100% true. I think Sean McVay might have even put these rumors out into the world because that's a very coach thing to do, mental manipulation, put the fire under someone's ass. But the whole getting our most out of Jared Goff, it needs to happen right now. Look back last year with Alex is out of here. So, you're back. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers last year. Aaron Rodgers, one of the best quarterbacks ever. They drafted Jordan Love in the first round and kind of put a fire under his ass. Granted, we can't draft a quarterback in the first round, but do we go get Trey Lance, claim Haskins, sign Fitz, like do a number of moves to where Jared Goff really feels the fire under his ass? He's had Wofford as his backup, and who was a backup in the XFL, and he's had Blake Bortles, who is the shittier version of Ben Roethlisberger. So I really think that there needs to be a culture change in the quarterback room of the Los Angeles Rams. And from there, we will see success happen all over the field. I'm not worried about our defensive coordinator. I'm not worried about our defense. The guy we got in there is perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm sad that our guy is now with the Chargers, but
which you guys did get Raheem Morris, the interim head coach for the Falcons. Yeah.
And I think it's suitable. The guy who went to the Chargers, honestly, I think he's special. You look at his personality type. The Bucks win next week. I'm coming on. Connie, you can come on whenever, big dog. Whenever. As long as you get your mic on tonight, you can come on whenever. If you don't get your mic on tonight, no stimmy check, no, all this shit you've been asking for. I'm sorry, Connie, we can't roll that out for you. I'm sorry. So, but those rumors are true. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Sean McVay is the one who went to TMZ or whoever and reported it himself of this drama.
That would be funny to see McVay walking up to TMZ. Connie, Alex makes fun of me for Wi-Fi, but now this. Yeah, that's how friendship works, Connie. We make fun of each other. Grow up.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
And then Connie said mid at best for when you were describing Goff. And he says Cup being out fucking killed them. And I agree. Because, you saw, he did make that big play, that big catch against the Seahawks. So, Cup is one of those, reliable guys where, if you need to play, you can kind of lean on him, and you have Robert Woods, but only having one of them, I'm sure that totally threw everything off. I know on the last podcast, the reports were that he was going to be fine. He was going to make the game. Fortunately, he didn't. Definitely affected the offense, but the Packers, I mean, with the performance they had, the way that the offense was going, do you think the Packers are the favorite, or are you leaning a little bit more on the Bucks?
I think the Packers should be the favorite. I understand they had that game earlier this year where the Packers jumped out 10-0, and I think the Bucks scored like 38 straight points after that and won. That definitely does concern me, but I think Aaron Rodgers has to be the favorite. He's just too hot right now. Seems like Tom Brady just got his sea legs a couple weeks ago, which is great, makes him more competitive. But, I was talking with my dad on the phone. Obviously, I think the Bucks are the better team top to bottom, with Aaron Rodgers being, the better quarterback, Devontae Adams being the better wide receiver combo. And then probably their running back room is more solid because Aaron Jones is a little bit banged up right now. Ronald Jones is a little banged up right now. Aaron Jones is fine. I think it'll be a good game. Honestly, I could see Vegas. I could see being like a -1, honestly, and then Bucks bet it to being a straight even. But yeah, I would still say, hey, it has to be the Packers. It's going to be cold. You got to realize a lot of them boys have been down there in Tampa for a while. Tampa's a really warm place. It's not like, Green Bay, which is basically in Canada. I think of the Vikings, the Packers, and the Bills. They're basically Canadian teams. I mean, they're so close to the border. Specifically the Bills, you draw a line to the left or right, I'm pretty sure you're going to be in Canada. So, it's just going to be a different game. I think Tom Brady will be well prepared, but let's see how that rest of that team who's not been here in the AFC Championship game, let's see how they respond. NFC Championship game. Let's see how they respond.
You just did the same thing Gronk did, because I guess in the locker room when they were celebrating, he's like, we made it to the AFC Championship, and like one of the defenders like, this is the NFC, bro. But the spread is 3, by the way.
By 3, okay, I see that shrinking for sure. 2.5 probably is where, maybe 1.5 is where it closes out at. It closes out as. But a little disclaimer: I didn't even know the divisions until like a year ago. Like, I'd been a football fan for so long, and I never ever like cared about learning them. And then with this like advanced playoff year, it became kind of more important with that extra team. So we're all learning, man. Even Gronk. And the thing is, too, a lot of people don't understand this, is they expect every single person who plays football to be like a football historian. Like, who's your favorite player from the 80s? Like, whoa, I'm telling you, there's some dudes. I was one of them. I literally just put my shit on and played. Like, I love football. I love the technique of it, but like, who's your favorite offensive lineman growing up? And it was like literally no one. I did not watch offensive line until like 5 years ago when I was in 8th grade, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be a running back. Like, let me fucking learn how to block. And that's when I learned how to. And that's when like I was like, okay, I'm gonna seriously learn to play football. But same thing with Gronk. Gronk is just a fucking baller, bro. He just puts his helmet out there. You point him in a direction, and the dude just plays. Like, there's just some dudes like that, and it's very refreshing to see that there's still just some dudes who are like, you know what, just put the ball in the dirt, let's play. Like, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, we got Connie in the chat. Man, Alex said my name and friend in the same sentence. Imagine that, bro. Connie thinks we're now friends. Funny story. When I used to run the football Twitter account, I was interacting with Connie, and then he just was like, "Oh, I want to join the network," and then that's how it happened. Just off us interacting. Hi, Zeegs,
Connie.
how are you? And then Connie said, "Dad by 3." All right. Look at Connie supporting his father. Papa Brady. Real quick, Christian, you were golfing at the time of the game? Did you watch highlights
of the Rams game?
Yeah, like all the highlights, because there were 2 plays literally consecutively that obviously we don't know if that would have changed the game. But did you see that the Rams dropped 2 red zone interceptions against Green Bay in the second quarter at the end of the game? At the end of the second quarter?
No, I did not. I was pretty much fully golfing the whole day, but I don't quite remember that off the top of my head from the highlights. That's huge, but I mean, let's look at Patrick Mahomes' interceptions. I saw a clip of, I want to say it was 18 throws that Pat Mahomes had this year that were clear interceptions, and dudes just dropped them. Like, it happens. Unfortunately, we were on the shittier end of that side, but there's a reason why defensive backs aren't wide receivers. It's because they have hands of effing stone.
Yeah, but no, just like watching it, Christian, I was just like, damn, back-to-back plays almost, where like literally like the Rams defender had it in his hands, and it's like those are those plays where like you just can't give a Hall of Fame quarterback that many extra chances. But yeah, tough loss for the Rams. Just like I told you, like 3 weeks in, I was like, this Rams team, it looks good. I also think Jared Goff's thumb injury, like that also kind of probably threw a wrench in what you guys could have done on offense, but it is what it is. Packers move on. Rams are going home, but with pride. Next game, we have the Baltimore Ravens, Buffalo Bills. Bills took care of business 17-3. Bills offense only scored 10 points in this game. 7 of those points came off an interception touchdown given up by Lamar Jackson. Now, this has been a discussion in the group chat and on Twitter about Lamar Jackson's performance. You know, we've seen people in the media like Shannon Sharp say like, hey, like this is no disrespect, but like you really got to step up your game in terms of passing, because I think I saw Connie put up a stat in the group chat where he had like under 10 passes that were thrown like down the field. And Connie, since Connie just jumped in to say Allen Lamar, what was that stat? I don't know if you put the stat in, but there was a stat about how many throws Lamar threw downfield in that game, and it was just bad, like almost to the effect of maybe possibly the offensive coordinator or whoever was calling the plays was just not comfortable with Lamar at that point. Like it was one of those games where you're just looking at it like, damn, like, you know, they had this victory last week against the Titans. They you know, got revenge. You thought maybe momentum would be there, and see Connie pulled up the chat. 5 passes that were thrown over 10 yards. You can't win football games like that. You can't.
No.
And
that's Drew Brees.
Noodle arm Drew Brees. I mean, what do you take away from, you know, Lamar Jackson? He is 24, but again, in three playoff runs, he has 1 victory combined.
So my overall opinion of Lamar Jackson is slightly overhyped because of the MVP year. I think everyone kind of fell in love with him, including his own team. Like, shit, he can create with anything, and that is completely not true. Look at this past year. No weapons. He had Duvernay and Brown. Mark Andrews took a huge step back, and they lost Ronnie Stanley basically the second he signed that extension. I think he tore his ACL. So no left tackle, no real offensive presence. Mark Ingram, who, you know, was traded for Devin Singletary in one of our dynasty leagues, is basically out. I wouldn't say out of the league, but he's had no role with the Ravens there right at the very end. So there's just a lack of offensive talent. I know. He wasn't even playing though. That's why he was not. He was a healthy scratch, and then they cut him because of cap. But you know, the offensive moves they've made have been nothing. You know, they just gave Lamar. You know, even the defense, they got rid of Earl Thomas and never really replaced him. Never did really anything to match that production. They got Yannick Ngakoue like right before the trade deadline, which was like all right, but Judon was really their pass rushing guy who kind of, you know, got there at the end of the year. It's just Lamar isn't the type of guy like Aaron Rodgers where for years you could give him like one piece of chicken and like 2 bits of potatoes and he'd figure out a way to like feed himself. Lamar is not that guy. And if you're going to expect him to run the ball and he's going to have like 150 yards and then 100 yards on the ground, you're not going to go very far in the playoffs. It's a super gimmicky offense. It works in the regular season. It doesn't work in the postseason. They need a Devonta Adams. They need honestly, Julio Jones. I don't even think them signing Antonio Brown would have really made all that much of a difference. AB looks electric, but he doesn't look like the type of number one wide receiver that Antonio Brown used to be. So getting the offensive line healthy, the running game will be there with J.K. Dobbins, who was a little bit of a drop machine in the postseason. Maybe he fixes that, maybe he doesn't, but he can tug the ball very well. But Lamar Jackson needs weapons. You cannot give a guy Patrick Mahomes level arm talent, and then you load him up with all of that, receiving core help, and you see how successful he is. I think Lamar Jackson is kind of in the same realm of talent as Patrick Mahomes. I think Pat is that, tier 0.01. You wake up and you're that gifted. I think Lamar is just right underneath that. But that level still, you need talent to win postseason games. I mean, even Aaron Rodgers, like, you need talent, and the Ravens. Honestly, the Rams, I've said that they need more talent on their offense, and the Rams have more talent on their offense than the Ravens do. I would take both of our wide receivers over anyone that the Ravens had, and then Mark Andrews was so limited this year. Honestly, Tyler Higbee, it kind of is a wash. Obviously, Mark Andrews finished higher, but just nothing about their offense does it for me. And I think Lamar is getting the blame of their GM, like you said, their offensive coordinator not calling plays. Allen Robinson, the Ravens, that'd be fucking fresh. I would love that. But
I'd love that too.
I don't know who their offensive coordinator is. I don't know who you blame for that, but you need to get more creative with the play calling. If Nagy somehow gets fired from the Chicago Bears, maybe you throw him in there. He had a great play calling his first couple of years with the Chicago Bears, getting like Tariq Cohen involved, getting it was Jordan Howard and then David Montgomery involved. I think that's the kind of route you go. I think Lamar has talent. I don't think you give up on him. But Shannon Sharp said it well. He needs to pick his shit up. He needs to be the guy that he won the MVP, and then his team needs to support him. It's no quarterback can win with no help and no organization. Even the Eagles, yeah, they won it with Nick Foles, but they built a fucking monster at all other 10 positions on the offense, all 11 positions on the defense. That's what the Ravens got to do, unfortunately. Lamar's not the guy who's going to elevate them with that receiving core. As much as I love Marquise Brown, shout out COC, they need a lot on that offense. They need help.
And let's switch it over to the Bills. Josh Allen, what he has done this season, his performance overall from, the beginning of the year to now, he didn't have his greatest game, but, at the end of the day, you just need to do enough to get the victory. Him and Stephon Diggs continue to just it's literally they're just basically handing it off to each other. It looks so flawless. Just they're connected. I had when quarantine.
Ooh, Alex, I don't know if they can
Sorry
hear
about
you.
That.
You're good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you though. Now I can see you. All black, everything.
Okay. Now you were frozen for a second. Okay.
Yeah, your screen. I don't know what the stream is showing, but your screen is very, very delayed.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I got new Wi-Fi and I thought it would be better, and it's been shitty. And there's no way someone's gonna come out right now with all the wind. But I did want to say, so when quarantine hit, I read that Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, to build chemistry, just played video games online with each other for hours. That was their initial chemistry building, because obviously we couldn't go out to the park and really meet and hang out and fucking have you over. So that was their way that they connected. Kind of now you and Connie are in sync now with chemistry with, playing Warzone. Josh Allen and the Bills. I mean, look, we're gonna get to Mahomes' situation and the Chiefs, and where they stand at. But even with Mahomes at full strength, I think this Bills team would give, the Chiefs at full strength a run for their money. I mean, what are your feelings on the Bills? Do you think that they can, give them a fight if Mahomes is 100% healthy? We're just going to talk in that hypothetical. Let's not worry too much about the injury situation. But just for the record, I'm rolling with the Chiefs. Injured Mahomes, fully healthy Mahomes, I'm rolling with the Chiefs regardless. But I do think the Bills make this a very competitive game.
I think the Bills make this a somewhat competitive game, like you said, all things considered, because Pat Mahomes probably won't be 100%, even if he is out there. He has that foot injury too that he was like limping around with during the game. For me, the Bills, it is their running game. Like, as much of progression Josh Allen has had in the postseason, if you don't have a running game, it really shrinks your available play calling. Like, yes, they can spread the ball, they can pass, they can do a lot of cool little gadgety plays, but if you can't hand the ball up down the tackle, or sorry, go down the goalie, between the tackles 10 to 15 times per game, it's a recipe for disaster. And Chiefs by 100, hopefully. I know where Perry's mind is at. I just don't see this being as competitive a game as people think. I think the Chiefs defense is really going to limit Josh. Stephon Diggs is going to be Stephon Diggs, but Zach Moss is out. Devin Singletary is going to be the starter, and I don't know who else they have back there. I know it was Frank Gore last year, but for me, it's that running game. They need a true every down back, and because of that, I just don't see them having the ability to take enough. I love Josh Allen. I'm not saying you need to take some stress off of him, but if he throws the ball, 50 times a game, no matter what, they're going to lose to the Chiefs. They just don't have the talent to win. What's up, Matt? I like that John Brown was really involved last game. I think he had like 8 receptions for 63 yards. He was Josh Allen's favorite target last year, and I know Cole Beasley got that. How about them Ramblies? Hey, it's all good, Matt. It's snowing and it's 83 here, so I'll take it. I completely lost my train of thought. As well as that connection has done with no run game, I just don't see a way they beat the Chiefs. They have a talented defense, but it's just a big part of their game. They're like one of the worst rushing offensive teams, and they have a great offensive line. It's just because Singletary and Zach Moss are huge disappointments at the starting running back position. I think of each of them as a scat back, kind of a true number 2, and they need to get a bell cow. That's the answer for me. If Mahomes starts, the Chiefs win by at least a touchdown. That's just what I think. I think the Bills are great. I think they're very well staffed. The Chiefs are just a different animal. That's just my opinion. You need to have every cylinder of your offense, because Josh Allen's great, but he's not Patrick Mahomes. And the only way you get around that is with the run game. And maybe they need some tight end help as well. Dawson Knox, not really a threat. You throw Kyle Pitts in there, shit. Cover that offense. Good luck. Donald got locked up.
And then I don't know if my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, just saw that. So to address Matt, yes, Aaron Donald was hurt, got locked up. Great, congratulations, big dog. Like, Ramsey got burnt. Like I said, congratulations. Have fun losing next week or the week after that. Aaron Rodgers is going to retire, and we'll still be playing for championships. So living up there rent-free, Matt. I appreciate it. Going to move some furniture in there later in the week. Got a nice little futon for the back left part of your brain that I'd really like to just incorporate into the scheme. So not worried about my Rams at all. We overperformed this year, and we're gaining our draft capital back as we get further from that Jalen Ramsey trade, which, you talk about the Stephon Diggs trade, one of the better, two first round or one first round draft swaps. Stephon Diggs killed it. We killed it. Jamal Adams, probably not. Minka Fitzpatrick was one very good first round pick swap, helped both teams, I think, very, very well. So I'm chilling. It's okay, Matt. Enjoy love. Have fun. Enjoy.
Christian.
Cheers.
You sound so hurt. Cheers, man. Cheers. I got water today. I'm on the fit challenge. No, honestly, yesterday I recorded another podcast, and that was the first time I had wine, and I was like that was the second time I had wine in this fit challenge, and it was hitting a little harder than it normally does.
You were getting lit. You're professing your love to your
dude, I have to edit some of that shit out.
Bro, when I was single, there should have been like a breathalyzer on my phone, because as soon as 0.07 Christian comes out, it's demon time. I was on demon time yesterday. I said some risky. You need a condom for your mouth, because shit coming out risky.
Yeah. For the Bills to win, I mean, I think it's a combination of obviously Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, just getting the better of the Chiefs defense, and the Bills defense at least slowing down the Chiefs. I don't think you can just stop the Chiefs. I mean, if they can pull that off, that's awesome, but I don't think that's realistic. Even with Mahomes, that's kind of banged up. It's asking a lot. And by the way, Christian, this might be because of the combination of Josh Allen's MVP run and Mahomes' injury. The line is also at 3, so both lines for these games are at 3. So might see a little Christian power parlay. We got sauce. Christian.
I'm feeling good, like I should. Alex and Connie podcast. Dad and son.
Yeah, well, dad and son. Oh man, Connie's my son. Oh jeez.
Has to be. Has to be.
All right. Next game, we got the Browns. We got the Chiefs. It was a game that was a lot closer than I'm sure a lot of people expected. We'll get into the details why. Chiefs get the victory 22-17. Let's just go into the beginning of the game. Oh, see, the podcast has to involve Alex's stimmy. I'm sure we could think of a name that'd be stimmy related.
How about Alex puts down $1,200 and Connie just starts pitching you Shark Tank ideas for a whole season? And once you eventually get to an idea that's worth it, then he gets your stimmy. That's my vote. Oh, are we losing Alex here for a second? Alex's Wi-Fi more suspect than his love life on this episode. So here's the sketchy part: is I don't even know if I'm the one who's fucked up, if it's Alex or not. You back there, sweetheart?
I am back. You know what? It's so messed up because I literally paid for what was supposed to be better Wi-Fi, and my other Wi-Fi wasn't even as bad as this. This is terrible. This happened last night when I was recording that podcast too. I kept on. At one point, my Wi-Fi was gone, so I had to go on my phone for part of the show. It was so stupid. It was
awful.
Terrible.
So unprofessional.
Yeah. Super. Thank God we weren't recording visuals because one had COVID and the other one took their makeup off. I was like, all right.
Bro, nah, it's Alex. You good Christian. I'm weak. Come on, girls. Bare face. You got to do it.
I'm bare face. I'm bare face. I let these bags hang.
Bro, you know it is so easy to make a girl's day to compliment them without their makeup on. You just hit her with you look good, with the sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. Ooh, that's when you're the prettiest.
The Greek Drake in the house.
I'm telling you, I'm on it. Shit. Someone's getting flopped in this house tonight. Hopefully it's not my left hand.
All right, man. Let's go to the Chiefs Browns. We'll go into the talks about the game. There was a controversial call, and it's controversial because every time that this happens in a game, it is all over Twitter. Everybody is adding the NFL. Like, how the fuck do you guys have a yearly meeting and this rule is still it's still a rule? So Rashard Higgins did what the Bill Belichick cardinal sin is of reaching out for the pylon. And obviously the second part of it is the head-to-head contact that wasn't called either. Basically, Rashard Higgins fumbled the ball into the end zone, basically gave the ball back to the Chiefs. Browns lost a scoring opportunity. It's never smart to say, oh, because of the touchdown, they would have won, because who knows how the game would have gone after that. But very brutal when you look at how close the game was and how big of a difference that should be. Do you think that rule should be changed? I know I saw Connie in the chat and a lot of people in the chat upset about it because, it's one of those rules that's like, does it really make the most sense? What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I kind of like the rule. I've just always been brought up on, if the wide receiver does that, it's kind of him trying to be a little bit of a showboater, trying to get, he wants to score that touchdown. You think about it, you take the optics out. He doesn't try to go for that diving touchdown. They're down at the 1. You have 2 Pro Bowl offensive linemen, a literal monster at running back and Nick Chubb, and you don't think you're going to punch it at the 1-yard line. I just think it's a little bit of selfishness. It's, the wide receiver wanting to be rewarded no matter what. So I don't have that big of a conniption with the call. Yes, it is monumentally, changes the game. To kind of give you some stats, a +1 turnover margin, meaning that you had 1 less turnover than the other team did. You have an 87% chance of winning if you just have a +1 turnover differential. So that play right there, in most games, going to score, missing that 7 points typically is the deciding factor in a lot of football games where that does happen. So I don't have a problem with the play in general. I think it's peak Browns just being, not as well coached. all the way through, because that's a coaching thing. That's something that you drill in the offseason. Don't be selfish. Go down. Don't extend. Obviously, you want some extension, but he really went too far with it. He was extended way too far. I mean, I don't even think his momentum would have carried him at that point through with the way he was hit. Now, how do you throw targeting into there? If you do call targeting, do they get the ball back plus half the distance to the end zone? I honestly think probably not. If they call that targeting, it should be enforced the other way, with the team who gets the ball has to back up 15 yards or half the distance to the goal. I don't know. I just think it's the Browns being a little bit like the Saints, where they want to blame anyone other than themselves for losing a game. And that's kind of where I fall with this. It's a weird rule. A lot of football casuals don't necessarily understand it, but for me, who's played the game for a lot of years, like, I just see it as someone that's being selfish. They're being risky, and you kind of, you got to live and die by the sword. If you extend and you score 16 touchdowns, but 17th one you fumble out the back of the end zone, you got to live and die by that. That's just kind of how it is, and would have made the difference probably. But Chad Henne is kind of a bad man too, as we saw right at the end of that fourth quarter with that big dick play where he just put his head down and kind of not sealed it. To put the next play he sealed it. That just kind of thing. It's the Browns. A better team wouldn't have made that mistake, and that's just kind of how I feel about it.
And when Connie says worst rule in sports, he was one of the ones echoing that like crazy in the chat. Matt with the bait question: are the Browns better coached than the Steelers?
Yes,
I definitely want to say that people should really put a lot more appreciation towards the difference. Like, hold on. You know what? Hold on real quick. Just going to do this.
All right. Can you see me?
Yes, I can. Are you good? You went to your phone?
Yeah, I just went to my phone because I'm just gonna use this. Fuck it. Is my audio still good? I'm not using my mic.
It is. It's a little choppy. It's on your phone, but you look good. You look good, homie. You look good.
All right, I'm gonna run the boards from my computer still. Matt, I definitely think that the Browns are a very well coached team. Damn it, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna hold this. Do I think that they're better coached?
Yes,
I think our coordinators, our offensive coordinator. I mean, I know everybody makes the thing like, oh, Big Ben gets the offensive coordinator fired, but if we look at the way our offense, the play calling has changed, especially in the second half of the season, I guess I would give the Browns a nod, but don't make that into something, Matt. Look at Matt's like that reporter in like the press conferences that's like trying to bait like LeBron to say something bad.
I love it. And Alex, I'm gonna hop in here for a second. I know you hate the whole TikTok, banter and all of that, but I just think with how Mike Tomlin handled that and how well Stefanski, took the offense this year, it's got to be the Browns. I hate to say it, just at least where they're trending, the Browns are trending up right now, and the Steelers, unfortunately, trending down.
Yeah, I definitely think the Browns should get a lot of credit for what they've done this year. 100%. Stefanski has done a wonderful job in his first year in Cleveland. Connie said doing a Madden franchise right now, drafted Lawrence, Jamar Chase. Oh, what a life. I'm currently doing because I've become this like fantasy geek now. I'm like doing a mock fantasy draft right now for Dynasty. Would you like to know who I got at 109 right now?
Please. Is it Kamara?
Got a little Devontae Adams action. No, Kamara was pick number 1.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Didn't someone in our Dynasty get him at pick 8 last year?
Yeah, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, like they got pushed kind of back. Like I got Mike Thomas at 12. Like that's how all different it was in terms of like how people were drafting, but it worked out for everybody.
Was it Superflex, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes.
Okay, because for
nobody's drafting quarterback, so I'm not going to be the first one.
No one took quarterback round 1 in Superflex?
Nobody took quarterback round 1 in Superflex.
Interesting. That is interesting.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let everybody get the other players. I'm just gonna get Herbert.
Fuck it. Hey, he's good. He's good.
All
You
right.
guys, you almost got me Justin Herbert for Aaron Jones until you opened your mouth in the group chat.
He asked me an opinion. All right, you just asked me an opinion. Do you want me to be like fake and just be like, nah, it's worth it?
Bro, yeah,
Christian,
talk
you
to
are
him
a
how I
fucking
talk to
negotiator,
Caleb.
man. I'll give you that.
If real estate has taught me one thing,
Dude, that
it's
was hilarious. I don't think Caleb knows how bad you fleeced them.
Bro, here's the thing: is a lot of these trades
You know
they
what?
fleece
I don't even want to say
themselves.
that.
They send them to me.
Yeah,
Like
I was
they're
gonna say
incoming
like he
trades.
send it to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark's trade was sent to me, and I still like trading Antonio Brown in a fourth and getting Mike Williams, Zach Ertz, and Kerryon Johnson. I still think I killed that trade in my mind.
Oh, here comes Barry. Hold on. Perry said, I said no long before that. I said psych the second I sent it. Herbert, one of my untouchables.
I mean, Perry, with your
Herbert
roster,
for the
honestly,
win.
any good talent should be untouchable because your team, you got to build. When you lose, I haven't experienced that yet, but when you lose, in the first round of the Dynasty playoffs, certain players got to be untouchable. Me, I win. Anyone can negotiate. Derrick Henry, is he available? Right price, maybe. I don't know. The negotiator is always open.
You were fucked up to Perry earlier in the chat, man.
I think it came off a little worse than it did because I was trying to do the voice chat and it didn't say exactly what I wanted.
I was like, what?
Yeah, so my bad, Perry. I was getting the COVID test because you and I made out. But Perry's team in terms of fantasy, trading for Mark Ingram from Devin Singletary, that's going to be a rough move to fight past. Any kind of dynasty move. Mark Ingram, I went through the draft, Alex. Siggs took him in the 5th round of our draft. Mark Ingram, one of the biggest reaches.
Hold on real quick. My audio's not showing.
It's all good.
Hold on.
So for people who don't know, I am the Dynasty Daddy. I got put into Dynasty very randomly this past year. Perry's like, we want to play. I've talked about it for a couple of years, and it kind of happened. Superflex, I feel like I got taken advantage of. I didn't know how to draft Superflex. I saw these quarterbacks: Mahomes, Lamar, Kyler, and then Perry took Dak in the first round. I was like, whoa, what the hell is going on? But just want to let you guys know, if you assemble a running back core of Aaron Jones, Derrick Henry, and Alvin Kamara, doesn't matter. Superflex, drive-through flex, underflex, overflex, doesn't matter. You're going to win. Alex and I were the semifinal teams. Never winning again. Head got too big. Fantasy gods not happy. You know what? I live in the real world where there's one God and we're all made by the same gods. We're all made equal. And I'm going to destroy you guys year after year because that is God's plans. Christian came off like a real ass earlier. Perry, okay, hold on. First of all, it was an accident, but you can't cap. I walked that league. I had 3 dudes that were above 10 point per game scores out, and I still smacked Alex next week. Smacked C Medina.
Wait, you didn't smack me. You won. Smacking is totally different.
Did I beat you by more than a point?
I smacked you.
I smacked you.
Christian, my comment earlier in the week, and I could tell it made you feel away because I was like, yeah, Christian definitely acts like he's never been there before.
I haven't. That's the thing, because I've never won. That was my first Dynasty League, and I won. So I'm super fucking. Imagine not winning 3 leagues. Connie, it has been a solid 3 or 4 years where I haven't won 1 league in any of the ones I play. Because I'm nice like that. I don't mean to be rude. I'm real nice like that.
I got 4 championships this year, but I got the most important one, which was the big money league. But let's get back to the Chiefs game. Mahomes sustained that injury where his neck moved a certain way. They're saying it's more of a neck situation. They still have him in the concussion protocols. He's passing the tests, which is encouraging. Don't know where it's at. I mean, clearly Vegas thinks he's playing because they still have the Chiefs favored. I think that's a big tell. But obviously huge. I mean, even when I heard that happened, I was like, oh, here we go. Could this be one of those? Did you see the play? Yeah, so basically, it just looked like his neck went back with the collision, but there was no head. His head didn't hit the ground really. It wasn't one of those situations. So, but he looks like dazed.
Yeah, Because I thought of it more as, I don't know if you've ever done like a sleeper hold on someone, where you do like the little choke. Like to me, it seemed like he got choked out. Like the way that he tackled, maybe, he was already out of breath and then getting choked out, because that's what happens when you get choked out and you try to stand up, you get the little Bambi legs and you start falling down because your brain doesn't have enough oxygen. So that was just kind of my, I didn't think concussion because it's a weird, like, kind of tackle, but it's obviously significant enough where he looked out of it. There's no way, like, that's where I treat him. Prayers up for him, because you could look into a dude's eyes and you can tell when they're not there. Whether it's drugs, alcohol, they're hitting the head, like you can tell when someone is not fully there. And if I was his mom, bro, I would be beside myself, upset, or his dad. Like it just looked funky. But I hope he plays. I think there's a good chance that he does. Honestly, I'm gonna say it. Patrick Mahomes does play. If it's not a concussion and it's up to him just being a DOG, he's gonna play. He's that type of guy.
I think it would be more surprising if he doesn't play. But yeah, prayers for Mahomes. I really hope it ends up being something where he can get back on the field. It'd be a tough way to lose this year. I did write an article in the preseason basically saying, like, I think the Chiefs, the way that they're constructed, especially for the next couple of years, they're going to become the gatekeeper for the AFC the way that the Patriots were for the past 2 decades. So yeah, we'll see what happens there with them. But the Browns, they almost came back. I think Browns fans should look at this. When you talk about losing a playoff game, it's always hard to have like a positive outlook on it, because for the most part, let's say if the Rams lost, like you're just like, like you said, we're missing out on a year of like Aaron Donald, like Jalen Ramsey at this stages in their career. But for the Browns, I think you got to take this as like a positive to make it this far, to going toe to toe with the Chiefs, regardless of it was Henny or it was Mahomes, you're still facing the Chiefs squad. They made it to the playoffs for the first time. They got their first victory. Like the Browns have a lot to be excited about moving forward. So yeah, kudos to the Browns. Phenomenal year. AFC North is definitely going to be in some good hands, especially for competition.
Yeah, so it's going to be really close as the Bengals start to get better. Unfortunately, your Steelers, could they find themselves as the worst team in that division next year? I hope not. But
how would you feel if the Steelers drafted Trey Lance? I'm seeing that.
I love it. On
Twitter.
I've told you that his potential, in my opinion, is like literally just right behind Trevor Lawrence's. Now he doesn't have the experience that even Trask has now, because Trey Lance had that full year. Then the FCS. It's pretty cool. The FCS is going to play their season in the next couple months in the springtime, because of Trey was already a first-round pick. He already sat out. Their left tackle is a first or second-round pick. He also opted out. So he only has that one full year of game experience. But I'm telling you, like, I don't know what you think. Perry thinks of the FCS football as like these jabronis, but I'm telling you that the difference in talent is really just so marginal. There's so many guys that, because of behavior, because of scheme, they're D1 talent, but they go down to the Division I AA level and they kill it. Trey Lance doing what he did, basically 40 total touchdowns between passing and running, and he had no turnovers. Completely spotless season, all the way to a national championship and won with no turnovers. Like, Trey Lance, if he gets into a position where, I think Carolina would probably be the worst. I see him going to Carolina a lot. I kind of like that, because I think he needs more of a true mentor, someone who's like been successful and can show him how to be successful. If he finds his way to the honestly, even Washington with Ron Rivera, because Ron Rivera has been there before, but sits behind the Steelers, sits behind even the Titans, if they decide they want to go quarterback in the first round, they're kind of there towards the end of the first round. I love Trey Lance. I think whatever team gets him is going to get a steal, but they can't throw him in the fire right away. Trevor Lawrence should and will be thrown in the fire probably day one. Trey Lance should probably not even play his rookie year. That's just my opinion, but highest potential outside of Trevor Lawrence in the draft. The Steelers get him. I think you go on your hands and knees and you tell Ben, please just give me one more year, baby. Even if we win or we don't win, just when you're playing, speak right in Trey Lance's ear. And then when you're not, get the fuck away. And because you don't like to work out and shit, let him kind of go with the rest of the team. But I think Big Ben, I think Big Ben owes it to the Steelers, honestly. As long as his health is there and he can physically at least just play, you guys go get Trey Lance, or you trade a second and you go get Sam Darnold. If Saleh, for whatever reason, I know he's committed to Darnold, but Cliff Kingsbury is committed to Josh Rosen, and then a couple months later he's taking Kyler Murray. If someone like that is available, I think that the Steelers would be and you guys are the type of franchise. Same thing with the 49ers. I see Trey Lance going to the 49ers a lot. It's a franchise with a solid starting quarterback. Obviously, Big Ben more solid. But it would be a great step towards their future. Your Steelers, a team that won 11, 12 games, and then lost in the first round. I don't know if you guys compete for Super Bowl next year, but you could easily reorganize this next year, rebuild with a rookie quarterback, and then have him start year 2. And then you guys could be a first round or second round loss with a quarterback, 2022, and then playing for a Super Bowl with a young guy kind of going forward. So I like it. I think you guys should honestly entertain any of the young quarterback talents, because this year, Trask has a ton of talent. Zach Wilson has a ton of talent. Fields and Trevor Lawrence are kind of closer to their ceiling than the rest of the guys, but still tremendous talent all the way through this draft. Chiefs are gonna, I'm guessing, beat the Packers. You heard it here first. Connie is off that sauce. Please send me your drug dealer's number. I need it because you're off that gas.
He's off that milk pack, bro.
Oh, I got 2 apple pies from McDonald's last night. Thought there was a gallon of milk in my fridge. None. Didn't even eat the apple pies. Didn't even want to. What's the point?
Really?
There's no milk.
Oh, wow.
What's the point?
Yeah.
Calories.
I feel you.
Apple pie with water? Go to fucking jail, dude. Jail. Right away.
All right. Let's get to the Bucs Saints. That, I know a lot of people were probably expecting it to be a little bit. I know a lot of people were rooting for Drew Brees because they know there's rumors about him possibly retiring. I want to highlight Michael Thomas. So they actually had said that he was supposed to have a couple surgeries, but he was just going to play through the injuries and, try to give everything he could so Drew Brees could have one final run. Unfortunately, as we saw, he didn't have a single catch on 4 targets. But I do want to give Mike Thomas some credit for doing that for his quarterback. Kind of like what I was telling you last episode. That's Drew Brees has been there for so long. Ben has been there for so long. There's this extra loyalty that you have because you're I want to make sure you go out on top. That's what everybody's dream retirement would be. So, yeah, kudos to Mike Thomas. Sucks that you couldn't catch anything, but again, he's really banged up. So, shout out to that for him doing that. But the Bucs took care of business.
Shout out Slam Boy. Shout out Slam Boy.
Shout out Slam Boy. The Bucs, they took care of business 30-20. Tom Brady continues to just be money in the playoffs. I watched a buddy make $3,000 off bets with people before the game. Oof. It was insane. I was like, all right. Yeah, no, it's one of it's like the Mayweather. Mayweather paid for a lot of my college books when I was in college. A lot of my books were paid because of Mayweather. And it's kind of funny because supposedly he can't read. So thanks for buying me something you can't use.
Y'all had to pay for books? What? Y'all pay for books? Y'all had to pay for books?
When I first started college, yes.
So cool thing about Southeastern is all of the textbooks the school buys and then they rent them out. So they control the curriculum in terms of the textbooks for all students, not just athletes. Something I thought is pretty cool, something that schools I think should consider because, you have that rental fee. Yeah, some of the books end up getting pretty old, but college is fucking expensive. Do something for your students. I digress. Something I just wanted to put out there. Shout out Southeastern. I love my school. I just think it was pretty cool. Wanted to put that out there. Krispy Kreme glazed apple pie package got in the seed yesterday. Perry, you have such an interesting diet and you are so skinny. Congrats. That's all I got to say. I eat with Perry and we'll go out to eat and then we'll eat breakfast. We'll eat Danishes and shit. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to gain 5 pounds for sure. And Perry just stays the exact same. It's that Jewish metabolism, man. He's used to just railing latkes 15 times a day. His body's used to it.
Yeah, no, I'm down 20 pounds since December. So your boy's slimming up, getting ready for hot boy summer in 2021 when we can go outside.
You're gonna get that shot. You're gonna go out, have a great time, and then boom, chlamydia. Back inside, Alex.
Oh my God. Why would you wish that on me?
Because you can get rid of chlamydia. Just like a 2-week little slap on the wrist. It's not that big of a deal.
We talked about people who had chlamydia on the pilot of my other podcast. I'll send you the link.
STDs are normal. It happened. You be fucking, you finna get HPV. It's gonna happen. Like, just accept it.
Do you think the Bucks have a legitimate chance to take out the Packers this weekend? You do?
Yes. Their team is stupid deep. I mean, Tristan Wirfs coming along is just the cherry on top of a already immaculate pie. Pause. Yeah, he's real good, especially in the pass game. I mean, I told you guys he's my number one offensive lineman out of the draft. I'm a huge O-lineman homer. And obviously Andrew Thomas, the Giants, the reason why the Giants fucking suck. But Mekhi Becton was the other offensive lineman taken ahead of Tristan Wirfs. Honestly, they're both ballers for different reasons. So, it kind of couldn't miss with those picks. But, their team is nasty. Their defense is nasty. Their offense, we've said it for a while with Godwin and Brown and Evans. They have 3. I don't know if OJ Howard's back, but at one point they had 3 legitimate tight ends. You had the old head in Gronk. You had the guy who's paid in Brake, and then you had the first round pick in Howard. The only other tight end core I think would be the Browns, where they have Hooper Bryant, and David Njoku, which is the same kind of thing. But I just think no, fuck Perry, because I look at food and gain weight. Same, Connie. I'm on the seafood diet. I see food and then I eat it. Don't sleep on Packers O-line. I mean, when David Bakhtiari's hurt, I'm going to completely fall asleep on them. You have a practice squad player starting at offensive tackle. But pause. But I think that
they're trigger man.
They're. I mean, don't talk O-line shit. I know what I'm talking about. But the Buccaneers are stupid deep. They're definitely a team that you can't count out any given week. Even if they win this week, going into next week, if they were to play the Chiefs or the Bills, you should not count them out again, just because of who Tom Brady is and how their team is deep. It's like, so I can't even explain to you how much depth they have. It's like their defense is young and fast. Their offense is established and fast. Like, it's annoying. It's super annoying.
All right. So at the end of the game, we had Drew Brees give that what may be and now an iconic clip of him entering the tunnel and then looking back one last time. Where do you think Brees's career, stands? Like, you don't have to go specific as to where he stands in your order of best quarterbacks ever, but Hall of Fame resume, do you think, he is one of the league's or one of our generation's better quarterbacks? Like, what are your thoughts on Drew Brees? Since I know due to your time in Louisiana, you're not the biggest fan of the Saints organization.
The Saints are, and the Pelicans are, a poverty organization. There's no way you can tell me any differently.
Mikey has just left the chat.
Mikey's a Detroit Lions fan, so he's fake as fuck. But
oh my God, really?
Oh yeah, he likes the Pelicans.
Oh wait, Christian, high five. The Thunder were down 20, and I bought them at 10.5, and they covered.
Let's go. I think I bet the under, didn't hit. What was the final score? Was it a lot?
Final score was they hit the over. And I am about 8 points away from hitting the over on the Pelicans game, so I might be 2-0 on NBA picks. Sorry, didn't mean to make this a betting podcast really quick.
Damn it! I thought I had screenshot. Damn, I thought I had screenshot my bet today. What did you say?
Continue on your Drew Brees assessment.
Yeah, so Drew Brees, I mean, obviously he had that stuff in the offseason that kind of, I think, played a huge like subliminal thing, and it later in the year he kind of lost the locker room a little bit. I still think though he's a great guy. He has one of the best stories of all time when you talk about how his career started. And there's also too the whole, like he almost got drafted by Saban and could have made that happen over there, and the doctor kind of convinced Saban not to take him. But he bounced. I mean, he was in San Diego, and then he went to the Saints. Such a great career. He was short out of Purdue, which isn't the biggest, football school. And kind of made it happen. He's a staple in Louisiana. I don't know if it was your group chat or another group chat. He was there for the state of Louisiana when Katrina happened, which is one of the worst events, in terms of loss, damage of property in United States history. He was there for them during that. He also helped them win a Super Bowl after, helped really rally the city behind the rebirth, kind of the state of Louisiana. So
I think he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's put up enough stats to be a Hall of Famer. I think it would be a little bit inappropriate to do the whole where is he all time, because he's not going to be one of the top all time. He'll definitely be in the higher echelon, but I don't think he has done enough winning of Super Bowls to say that he deserves to win, or deserves to be talked about with the like the Rodgers and the and more like Tom Brady and Elway type players. But I think he's a great guy. I think that he's destined for either a like booth job, or if he wants to even be, I can't remember who is the governor of Louisiana, but he's a total shithead. I think it's Bale Edwards is the governor. I could see Drew Brees being the governor of Louisiana, no cap. Like, I think that he has the leadership abilities to be in politics. I've kind of thought that for years. And I've heard rumblings in my times in Louisiana that that's kind of something that he, probably because of Trump and that kind of that connection where, you don't need to be a real politician to kind of, break that mold and kind of get a leadership position in our government, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But, I think that he's destined for big things. He's a great guy. I think he is a true, I don't want to say like citizen of the earth, but, he is someone that just continuously wants to improve. Like, even though he messed up, by saying some stuff this past summer, it didn't derail him. I mean, he's a true veteran. He wants to get better as a person. I think, look at Kobe when he retired, how dedicated Kobe was to all the things that he did after basketball. I think Drew Brees is going to be the same way. First thing is being a great husband and a great father to those children, which he looks like he's doing a great job with. That little thing with him and Tom Brady after the game, throwing touchdown passes, I think it was just that is real life. I think football, a lot of people want you to fucking hate the other person, like the old school rivalries, but like football is a job. Pro sports is a job, and a lot of those dudes are actually friends. Tom Brady and Drew Brees trained under the same guy for years, same quarterback coach. So I think it's cool for you and me, Alex. I think it's, obviously we're adults, we pay taxes and shit, but it's like our childhood heroes now, it's all starting to get wound up. Kobe is not only retired, he's now passed away. Peyton Manning's retired. Drew Brees is retired. Tom Brady's going to be there. Ben Roethlisberger's probably there, if not next year. So it's a real changing of the guard in football right now, and it's cool to see. Honestly, I think they're in good hands. Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes. A lot of these young guys are super duper promising. Lamar Jackson. It's cool. It's time though. It's real time. The Saints are negative 93 million over the cap. If Drew Brees leaves, they're negative 70 million over the cap. Shit. Yeah, it's real. The Saints are not going to be competitive for the next 3 to 5 years. I hate to break it to all the fake fucking Colston fans. I'm speaking to you, my ex, that have just bullshit ass jerseys from way back in the day. You're fake ass Saints fans. I don't want to fucking hear it. I can't wait to see you guys hide for the next 5 years and just jerk off Zion because he's the only thing in that state that's worth a damn. Sorry, but shout out to Drew Brees. I just my dad's not retiring. I don't think Alex is going to retire, at least for a little bit. He needs to get that passive bag, that investment bag, before he can start retiring. But shout out. It hurt my heart a little bit. I definitely shed a little bit of a tear, even though I don't like the Saints, because he's done so much for the game of football. He's done so much for the state of Louisiana. I'm gonna same thing with when Derek Jeter retired. I'm gonna tip the cap to you. Hell of a career. You did make it. Not every finish is going to be a Peyton Manning storybook ending where you win, you get to ride off into the sunset. And honestly, like I said, that's life. Very seldom in life you running off into the sunset. It's got to work. You got to make the best out of every situation. And the Saints, it's time. Like when they lost, I was like, it's time. They've been struggling to get to the Super Bowl for too long. It's not going to work. This isn't the group that's going to get them there. It's time. Shoot the horse. Let's start over.
Yeah. So if it does end up being official, congrats to Drew Brees. Enjoy retirement. You got a phenomenal career. Like Christian was saying, the city of New Orleans will forever, hold you, near and dear their heart. So, yeah, brutal way to lose. Last pass was interception. Somebody made a joke on Twitter saying he was really passing the torch to Jameis with that interception. But let's get out of the recaps. We're gonna go to our pick'ems. We're gonna talk about or go over the games for this weekend. And I was gonna have a Corey's Corner, but I don't even know if I can even play it because it would have to be on my phone, and I am on my phone right now. Fuck my Wi-Fi. So let's just get to the pick'em. We have the Buccaneers and the Packers. I'm actually going to roll. This is a tough one. All right, let me think about that for a second. Let's just start with Bills and Chiefs. I'm going to roll with the Chiefs. Injured Mahomes, fully healthy Mahomes. I'm rolling with the Chiefs this all day. Wait for Christian to get back from his refill. For the Bucks and the Packers, you know what? I'm gonna roll with the Packers. I know it's very tough to pick against Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the GOAT for all intents and purposes, and him adding another championship would just cement that even more. So I'm not counting out Tom Brady. I definitely think he could win this game. I'm just going to lean on the Packers for this one. So we got Matt happy. I'm picking the Packers. What's up, Matt? Thank you for being in the chat. Chiefs are just too much for the I'm assuming Bills to handle. Packers going to shock some people on Sunday. Yeah, no, I definitely think Packers are going to win. And then Connie said, "Fuck off, Alex." Connie, we're making football picks. Don't take it so personal. Jesus Christ. Wait, the Patriots aren't playing on Sunday. Why are you getting so mad? I'm just kidding.
Neither are the Steelers.
He hates when I reference that he's not a Patriots fan. Yeah, like he hates when I do that. And I heard that comment, Christian. Fuck you. Neither the Rams. All right,
Hey,
so
I'm definitely going Chiefs. Honestly, even if Chad Henne plays, I think there's a reality where the Chiefs still win. Then roll me with the Packers. I know, Matt, you probably think that I hate the Packers, but you know, Aaron Rodgers is from Cali. He's a JUCO boy. I think he's got that real grit, and he's going to show it on Sunday when he whips little Timothy Tom Brady's ass.
And I will say, okay, so I'm sure Connie's probably typing his thumbs off to say "fuck off" and then Christian. But would you like to know what Aaron Rodgers told Tom Brady after Brady and the Bucks just dismantled the Packers early on in this regular season?
What?
He basically told him like, "Hey, don't worry, man. We'll see you again. We'll see you again later." Like basically saying in the playoffs. So beautiful situation there. Oh, let's see. Connie said, "Don't fucking dare." Well, we picked the Packers, so I don't know what you want us to do, Connie. Both of you suck. I mean, hey, we're making picks, man. I don't know.
It is what it is.
What you want us to do? Yeah.
If the Pats are in it, good choice, boys. Wearing my Packers colors, green and gold right now.
Wearing his Packer colors. All right, man. Go ahead and plug anything that you got going on, and we can get out of here. And Matt just wanted us to know that we are both legendary. We know.
Of course,
just wait till the unwrapped flag football game. No one is going to fucking touch me with Christian blocking for me and me 20 pounds slimmer. My biceps are a little nicer than they were when I was in my playing days. So we're gonna fuck some people up.
I want to make this happen. Like I was thinking under, the Scout Pads. Follow me on Instagram at Scout Pads. All kinds of investing knowledge. I do real estate investing, but I give all kinds of advice on stocks, ETFs, financial literacy, all that kind of stuff. You should not have to work like Alex. You shouldn't have to work all day. You should be like me and be able to play Call of Duty at 12 if you want to. That's the kind of life you can get if you learn how to invest. I'm kidding. Work as hard as you want. Do whatever you really want to do. But as I was saying, with Scout Pads, I would really love to do a flag football tournament because I got Anthony Davis's trainer as a client. I know he would love to play. I know my boy Jake Woolley, who lives with Tyler Higbee, would like to play. So I got a couple boys, Sheldon West, former D1 wide receiver for the Buffaloes. I think we could put together a real turkey bowl, obviously COVID permitting, whether it's this Thanksgiving or the one following. I really think we could get obviously under the Scout Pads name, I'll pay for it. It's all good. But I really think we could get a cool little turkey bowl, do some PR, do some advertising because, that's the kind of shit that I be in. But I honestly, unwrap people are allowed to play. I don't think Connie wants to see either of us on a football field. No offense, Connie. I could be 400 pounds. I'd break you off like the first piece of bread, that hits the table. Like I'm real big, but I'm real nasty with it. Like Nicole, she took me to a church league a couple, not this Thanksgiving, the one before. I was putting up Kyle Pitts numbers, 14 receptions, 440 yards, 7 touchdowns. Like you don't want to see me. I'm unguardable. Like it's really nasty. You really don't want to play with me. But I think we've got a couple cool things with Unwrap. We're gonna do that fantasy Madden tournament coming up pretty soon. But I think you, me, and Alex, I'll be the QB. Now, Matt, I got to roll with my high school boy. That's a real dog you got under center. I kind of want to win. I'm sorry. He plays like Aaron Rodgers, so I hope you can understand. But
I love the sound of that.
I'm looking forward to. You love my boy Austin. He is he's a righty, but he hits left-handed golf. Fucking weird, but only thing I want to plug is follow me on Scout Pads. Follow me on Twitter at McGowan75. Christian is Big Trust. I'm out here in Cali trying to do my thing. You like to talk Marvel. WandaVision just came out. I'd love to talk all things superhero, all things money. Understandable.
Yeah, we got to have a pop culture show at some point, and maybe have it as like a rotating chair to let people talk from different segments.
I would love to, bro, because here's the thing is, like, people didn't know. Like, when I played football, no one knew that I was into this shit. Like, people just kind of thought I was a jock. But I was playing World of Warcraft, like, dead ass on the team plane, like, while we were going from place to place. Like, I really am a huge dork. I'm already – yeah, so yeah, I guess some players who played baseball, that they hit their golf left because some right-handed guys hit their baseball left-handed. So I guess it's not quite as uncommon as I thought. I just hate golfing with lefties because if you have a nice golf club, I want to fucking swing it. So I can't if you're a fucking lefty. That's just my only conniption. But big promotion out of me this week. I know I've talked for a little bit, but there's just going to be 2021 for me. I want to do a lot more content creating on the financial side of things. So just follow me and you'll see some cool stuff. Want to start a nonprofit this year, kind of relating to financial literacy and athletes. And me and Alex, we're in the talks. We're going to do some financial podcasts coming soon. So a lot of big things, even though, the hard count, this will probably be our second to last or one of our last episodes of the season. But there's going to be a lot of great content. Unwrapped has content coming out. Generational Sports Z. You have Amber doing the stuff with the women of Unwrapped. You have, everyone's got shows. Backstop Banner, Bets Unwrapped with you and Corey. There's so much content coming out.
Count the Bucket. Don't forget Count the Bucket. That's a great show.
Count the Bucket as well. There's just so much coming out, guys. Like, thank you for all your support, but this is not the end. It's only the beginning. Everything that we do, whether 10 or 10,000 people listen to us, we're building, we're growing. We're getting better at podcasts. We didn't even do live streaming until a year ago. So just stay tuned. If you like our content, there's going to be a lot more on the way. So just stay with us.
Yeah, no, I honestly can't wait. Yeah, I'll choose with water because I'm on that fit.
Sober, a White Claw.
I'm not trying to have the extra calories. I can't wait till we play though, because oh my God, dude, I just can't wait. Dude, anytime I go with my friends to the park and then like they just forget I'm nice. Oh, I can't wait.
Alex, I don't think you're ready for me. I think I'm a big guy, but I don't think you've seen me move before. I'm a better basketball player than Perry, and I'm twice Perry's weight, and I can move infinitely better than Perry. And that's not a knock on Perry. Perry was very fast, very athletic when we played growing up. I'm nice. I'm special.
Hey, just so you know, I got some bunnies, man. If there's one of the things I want to say that made me different as a receiver is being able to catch the ball in traffic and being able to take contact while making the catch. So having a game with everybody, it should be a fucking blast. And then Matt said, like Kobe would say, job's not finished. And then Connie said, gaming unwrapped for the win. Definitely check that out.
Get Connie to affiliate. We're almost there.
Yeah. Anthony_Conover.
Yeah. We're about to stream probably in the next 5 minutes of Connie and a little bitch. Ooh. Oh, wait, he doesn't have his mic. Damn.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you cook. Real quick to wrap up promos, I will be with Connie and Michael Lawson, both gentlemen who have been on this podcast as guests before. Going to be talking on Backstop Banter. We're going to do a discussion about the Padres. And because I recently got into the trading card game, I am a Fernando Tatis supporter because I want that card to get insanely valuable. And definitely want to talk about, the Padres and what they're doing this year. So that'll be a good conversation. Connie said both peaked in high school for sure. Connie, you never even peaked, so I don't even know what you're talking about. So yeah, we'll jump on. we'll get into the baseball conversations. A lot of baseball free agent news to definitely dive into. Matt, thank you for the sound effect. Shots fired. And then Bets Unwrapped Saturday. Stay tuned. I'll be posting my conference round player props probably Friday night. So either turn on post notifications or kind of look out for that. I'll be sure to have that so that way you guys have it for Saturday morning. But besides that, I want to thank Christian for joining me today. And like he said, it's going to be one of the last shows or at least consistent shows where we're going to have a little talk about it at some point. But thank you for being on this journey with me through the season, talking sports, talking shit. We did get lit quite a few times, so appreciate it, man.
And
Love you, bro.
thank you for having me, man. Like I didn't even know what NFL Unwrapped was going to look like this year, but I've been saying for Perry for a while, it's like, man, Alex is a very talented young man. He's very financially minded. Even if we're not talking about finance, I would just like to be in a room with you for 1 to 2 hours a week just talking football. So I think we have a great flow. Thank you for having me and kind of setting this up together. I've had a great time being your co-host because you are the host of this show. And I just want to say hats off to you for a great show running and kind of everything that you balance, Alex. Like, people don't know this, but Alex really is like the true, in my opinion, the embodiment of the American spirit. Like comes from, I don't know if your family are immigrants, but I know you're not too far off like me. Like
I'm
your first generation.
So I definitely have the American spirit of trying to make sure. Like I'm one of those people that like, I mean, you've talked to me like it's like 9:30 at night. I'm doing something, and I'm like, I'm gonna go for a run. Like productivity. My family did what they did. Now I grew up in no fucking struggle. So in my head, I'm like, I gotta go and top that because I just have a lot more resources available to me. So I'm gonna go get that bag. And then also, if y'all fuck with pop culture and those kind of real conversations, check out Royalty. Royal and then TTEA on Spotify. I have 2 other women, Stephanie and Princess, where we talk about pop culture and things that are going on. I'm gonna clip this for them. We have good conversations on there. The podcast that should be dropping tomorrow morning, we talk about cheating. So and I drank wine yesterday, so I was gonna get some a little bag a little bit.
Bro, I found the funniest. I have the funniest meme, bro, and I don't condone cheating, but I thought it was fucking hilarious. I just want to. So the tweet says, and this is a girl I follow from Palmdale, who Alex you would love. She's super toxic, but she posted this. It says,
"If you gotta ask for the head, cheat. You know what?"
Cat, bro. Yeah. I'm not saying you should cheat any relationship. If you're in a relationship, you gotta ask head from your partner.
Hey, yo, put me out,
bro.
Connie's capping so hard, man. Oh, dude,
Connie,
if you
want to get put onto a roster of thick psychotic Latinas, come to Cali. I got you. They're dime a dozen.
We could hook you up. I hope none of them are watching to alert the other one. bro, what are you doing?
They're not. You know what they're doing right now, and they ain't fucking watching our show.
No, they're not watching this. No, but someone would hear it and then report back. You have no idea how fucking crazy that town is.
Oh, bro, I grew up in Moorpark. I know. I have done shit thousands of miles away, and people be hearing about it for no reason because that's all they do.
All right, Connie's getting a little thirsty in the chat. I recommend some water. I think it'd really help you out, Connie. But or that is vino. It for. Or some vino. He's not old enough. For the hard count, this is your host, Alex and Christian, and we are out.